Listen to me. You don't have time to be average. You don't have time to wait for everything to be perfect. You don't have time to keep saying tomorrow. Let me tell you something that hits harder the more you think about it. You can lose money and make it back. You can lose friends and build new relationships. You can mess up opportunities and get new ones with enough hustle. But time, once it's gone, it's gone. You don't get refunds on time. You don't get credits. There's no rewind button. Every second that passes is a second you'll never see again. You've been taught to protect your money, taught to guard your reputation, taught to work hard for status, clout, respect. But what they don't tell you is the most valuable thing you got, the one thing that sets the great apart from the average, is how they treat their time. It's the real flex. It's the difference maker. See, people out here wasting hours like they cheap, spending whole days doing nothing and then crying about why they're stuck, why they're tired, why nothing's moving for them. It's not that the opportunity ain't out there. It's that you're spending all your time like you've got an unlimited supply. You don't. None of us do. From the moment you wake up, the countdown has already started. That's not to scare you. That's to wake you up. You wouldn't throw cash out your car window. You wouldn't hand your debit card to a stranger and tell them to swipe whatever they want. But people hand out their time like it's air. Hours spent binge watching, scrolling, gossiping, doubting, procrastinating, acting like there's no consequence. But there is. Because the future isn't built in the future, it's built right now. In the small decisions, in the boring reps, in the moments when nobody's watching but you show up anyway. Time is a currency. But here's the twist. You don't know how much you have. Some people got 80 years. Some only get 18. Some have 5 decades to build. Others only get 5 minutes to make an impact. That's why every second matters. That's why every choice counts. That's why you got to move with urgency, not just when it's convenient, not just when you feel inspired, but every day, because the clock is always ticking. You think success is about talent? Nah, it's about how you invest your time. Are you spending it building, or are you spending it breaking down your own dreams with excuses? You get the same 24 hours as the person who's out there winning, grinding, growing. The difference? They treat their time like treasure, like gold, like oxygen. You got people out here chasing fame, chasing bags, chasing validation. But if you chase discipline with your time, the rest follows. You start stacking wins. You start seeing clarity. You stop letting people waste your day. You start saying no to what doesn't grow you, because you understand every yes to distraction is a no to destiny. The world wants you distracted, comfortable, entertained, but time ain't playing with you. The question is, are you playing with time, or are you respecting it like the priceless gift that it is? Because when you really get it, when it hits you that every day is borrowed, that every morning you wake up, it's a chance you didn't have to get. You start to move different. You walk with intention. You build with focus. You love harder. You grind smarter. You stop putting your future in tomorrow's hands, and you start, let's get this straight. Every second you waste is not just time slipping through your fingers. It's a piece of your potential you just buried, gone, locked away, untouched. You didn't lose a moment. You lost a moment that could have been something, could have been a breakthrough, could have been growth, could have been progress, could have been that little step forward that stacks into greatness. But instead, it got buried underneath distractions, doubts, laziness, fear, or whatever excuse you let win that day. You were born with something inside you, a fire, a skill, a voice, a dream, a purpose. I don't care who you are. There's something in you that the world hasn't seen yet. But if you out here wasting time, letting hours go by like they don't matter, you're burying that gift. You're burying your own greatness while it's still alive. And that's the worst kind of loss, the kind where you never even gave yourself a chance to find out how far you could have gone. See, you think wasted time is neutral, like, oh, I just chill for a bit, or I'll get to it later. But it's not neutral, it's negative, because time doesn't stop. The world keeps spinning. Someone else is out there using your wasted seconds to outwork you, outgrow you, outdream you. The person you're meant to become is being delayed by the person you're choosing to be right now. You waste a second, you lose a chance. You waste a minute, you lose momentum. You waste a day and you start to lose belief. And it gets heavier the more you do it, because deep down, you know you're not living up to what you could be. You feel it when the day ends and you look back and ask, what did I really do today? You feel it when you're lying in bed, scrolling through everyone else's wins, knowing you've got the same 24, but you didn't use yours right. And that potential you're burying, it doesn't die, it waits. It waits in silence. But the longer it waits, the harder it gets to dig it back up. Not because you don't have the strength, but because you start to believe the lie that maybe you were never built for more, that maybe you're average, that maybe this is all life has to offer. And that's the most dangerous mindset you can fall into. That's how people end up living 80 years and dying with regrets. Dreams still inside, talent never unleashed, ideas never acted on, purpose unfulfilled. Every second you waste, you're giving up a piece of your power. Every excuse, every delay, every I'll start tomorrow, you're digging a little deeper into the ground where your potential is buried. And the world doesn't need more people playing small. The world's got enough of that. What the world needs is people who wake up with fire, who treat every moment like it's got weight, like it matters, like something sacred could come out of it, because it can. That second you waste watching nonsense, you could have used to create something. That minute you gave to self-doubt, you could have spent sharpening your craft. That hour you lost to fear, you could have used to look. I don't care what you've been told. You don't have forever. You're not promised tomorrow. You're not guaranteed next year. You keep acting like you've got all this time to get serious, to get focused, to figure it out. Time doesn't owe you anything. Life doesn't pause just because you're not ready. The world keeps moving whether you show up or not. You gotta stop living like you've got a backup life waiting for you somewhere. Like there's a second version of you out there that's gonna do all the stuff you're putting off. This is it. This life, this body, this breath, this moment, you either take it seriously or you waste it. And while you out here hesitating, waiting for the right mood, the right moment, the right motivation, time is moving fast. Quiet, steady, and it's not coming back. You don't have forever to chase that dream. You don't have forever to fix that relationship. You don't have forever to become who you were meant to be. You got people walking around like they've got unlimited credits, like they can hit snooze on life and everything will still be there when they wake up. No, it won't. Doors close, energy fades, opportunities expire. There's a window for everything, and that window don't stay open forever. You got to recognize that urgency is a gift, not a burden. It's the push that says, move now, don't wait. You keep saying someday, but someday is killing you. Someday is keeping you broke. Someday is keeping you stuck. Someday is a lie. The people who win, the ones who shift from someday to right now, they don't wait to feel inspired. They move because they understand the cost of waiting. They don't wait for the fear to disappear. They push through because they know fear never really goes away. It just disguises itself as comfort. And that comfort, that's the trap. That's the slow death. That's where dreams go to rot. You think you're playing it safe by not making moves? Nah, you're playing it risky. Because the biggest risk is wasting time. You can lose money and bounce back. You can take an L and recover. But time, you don't get to hit rewind. You don't get to relive your 20S or redo your 30S or take back the years you spent doubting yourself, talking yourself out of your own greatness. Every day you hesitate. Every time you say not yet, you're letting life pass you by. You're giving away chances to grow, to lead, to inspire, to make something that actually matters. You're not stuck because you lack ability. You're stuck because you keep acting like time will wait for you. But it won't. Life doesn't slow down so you can catch up. If you want it, you got to move like it. You got to want it like it's slipping away, because it is. You don't have forever to say what needs to be said, to love who you need to love, to become who you would desire to become, to chase what sets your soul on fire. So act like it. Wake up like time is running out. Show up like you're running out of chances. Grind like today is the only shot you've got to change everything. Because one day you'll look back and the only question that's going to matter is, did you use the time you had, or did you waste it waiting for? You think procrastination is just being lazy? You think it's about needing more motivation? Nah, it's deeper than that. Procrastination is arrogance. It's the belief that the time you're wasting doesn't matter. It's the attitude that says, I'll do it later, like later is guaranteed, like life owes you more time, like your next breath is already confirmed. But it's not. That's the illusion. That's the trap. That's where people lose decades. You don't put things off because you're incapable. You put them off because you assume you'll have another shot. You assume you'll still have the energy, the fire, the time. But who told you that? Who told you tomorrow was a promise? Who told you next week was on reserve? You think you're being chill, but really you're betting your purpose on a day that may never come. That's not humility, that's pride. It's arrogance wearing a mask telling you it's okay to delay your potential like you got forever to get it right. And the problem is it feels safe. It feels justified. I'll start when I feel better. I'll go hard when things settle down. I'll move when I'm ready. But that day doesn't magically show up. It's created. It's built by people who push through anyway, who move despite the fear, despite the mess, despite not having all the answers. You keep acting like you're going to get some perfect moment where the stars align and everything just feels right. But that moment, that's fiction. That's the story you tell yourself so you can stay comfortable. Because let's be real, procrastination feels good in the moment. It's relief, it's release. But it's also the slowest poison you'll ever drink because it doesn't kill you instantly. It kills your momentum, your self-belief, your future. Procrastination is the silent killer of dreams. It doesn't make a scene. It just whispers, not now. And then it whispers it again and again until days become months, months become years, and you wake up wondering where the time went, wondering why you feel stuck, wondering why nothing changed, when the truth is you didn't move. You talk about wanting success, but every time you procrastinate, what you're really saying is, I believe I have more time than I actually do. That's not confidence. That's disrespect to the gift you've been given. That's you telling your future self you'll figure it out later, while handing them all the pressure, all the regret, all the consequences of what you refuse to face today. And the more you delay, the heavier it gets. Not just the task, but the guilt, the weight, the inner voice that starts to wonder if maybe you're not built for this. And you are. You absolutely are. But you've been giving your power away to this lie that you're not ready. And that lie grows stronger the more you feed it with inaction. You can't keep treating your calling like a side quest. You can't keep treating your purpose like an option. It's not optional. It's not casual. It's not when I get around to it. It's a mission. It's an assignment. And every day you push it aside, you're not just procrastinating. You're burying your greatness under the weight of your own hesitation. You're putting your goals in the hands of time you haven't even earned yet, thinking you'll always have a later, thinking life will wait for you to get it together, thinking this season is just a placeholder when really this is the proving ground, the opportunity, the moment that separates those who wish from those who work, those who watch from those who, if you want to be great, if you want to be remembered, if you want to make noise in this world, you can't walk, you can't coast, you can't wait around for things to happen. You got to move with urgency. You got to treat every day like it's a countdown, because it is. That's what separates the average from the elite. Not just talent, not just intelligence, but the urgency behind the action, the fire that says, I don't have time to wait. I got something to build. I've got something to prove. Greatness doesn't respond to wishful thinking. It responds to aggressive execution. You don't get it by being chill. You get it by showing up before the sun does. You get it by doing the work when no one's watching. You get it by living like there's no plan B. Because when you move with urgency, you stop tolerating average. You stop settling. You stop putting things off for someday. You realize that someday is just a fancy way of saying never. Look around. Look at the people who are winning, the people you admire. They don't wait. They move. They build. They chase. Not because it's easy, but because they know time ain't waiting. They've seen what happens when you treat your life like it's disposable. They've felt the sting of a missed opportunity. And instead of, they fueled that pain into power. They turned that urgency into energy, into obsession, into legacy. You can't be casual with a dream and expect it to explode. You can't be soft with your goals and expect them to show up strong. You got to match the size of your vision with the intensity of your action. You say you want it. Okay. But are you moving like you want it? Are you grinding like time's running out? Or are you waiting for comfort, for clarity, for the green light? Urgency doesn't wait for perfect conditions. Urgency creates conditions. Urgency says, let's go messy, scared, uncertain. Let's go anyway. Because while you're waiting for life to make sense, life is happening. The moment's passing. The door's closing. And someone out there who's less talented, but more urgent, is snatching your opportunity because they showed up when you didn't. You can't slow walk your way into a destiny that demands speed. You can't tiptoe towards success and expect to arrive with impact. You've got to run with it, fight for it. Wake up hungry, go to bed drained, wake up and do it again. And no, it's not about burning out. It's about burning bright. It's about living with such purpose that people feel your presence before you speak. It's about showing life that you won't be ignored, overlooked, or silenced. Not because you yelled the loudest, but because you move with relentless focus, with urgency that made people ask, what drives them like that? It's not about rushing. It's about intensity. It's about being fully in the moment, not half present, not lukewarm, not dragging your feet. It's about squeezing everything out of the time you got, because once it's gone, that window doesn't open the same way again. You've got to be willing to go now, to build now, to sacrifice now, because urgency is the mindset of those who refuse to die with potential still inside them. The ones who don't wait for the opportunity, they become the opportunity. The ones who don't beg for a seat, they build the whole damn table. The ones who, let's be real, time alone doesn't make you successful. Having 24 hours in a day doesn't guarantee anything. Everybody's got the same clock, but not everybody's got the same outcome. The difference? Discipline. Because time without discipline is just space to drift. Time without purpose is where dreams go to drown. It's not about how many hours you've got. It's about what you do with them. People say, I don't have time. No, you've got the time. You just don't have the discipline to command it, to manage it, to respect it. You're not losing the game because the day's too short. You're losing because you're letting distractions eat up your day like termites. You're scrolling, hesitating, complaining, delaying. That's not a time issue. That's a discipline issue, because discipline is the engine. Time is just the road. And without that engine pushing you forward, that time just sits there. It passes with or without you. See, what discipline does, it gives your time structure. It gives it weight. It gives it purpose. When you've got discipline, every minute counts. Every hour has a name. Every day has a mission. You're not floating. You're moving with direction, intentionally, relentlessly. Discipline says, I don't feel like it, but I do it anyway. Discipline says, I'm tired, but I still show up. Discipline says, comfort won't build my future, so I'm choosing growth. It's not glamorous. It's not loud. It's the quiet choices when nobody's watching. It's waking up when you want to sleep, saying no when it'd be easier to say yes, staying focused when the world is trying to pull you in 100 different directions. It's setting a standard and then living up to it every day, not just when it's convenient, not just when you're hyped, but regardless of the weather, the mood, or the circumstance. Because here's the truth. Time is neutral. It doesn't care who you are. It doesn't slow down for the unprepared. It doesn't speed up for the talented. It just moves. And the ones who win, the ones who rise, they're the ones who use discipline to bend time in their favor. They get more out of one focused hour than some people get out of an entire unfocused day. Because while others are reacting, they're building. While others are drifting, they're executing. While others are wishing, they're working. Not harder, but smarter, sharper, tighter. Because discipline creates focus. And focus creates impact. You can't master life if you haven't mastered your minutes. You can't lead others if you can't lead yourself. You say you want more time, but you haven't even earned the time you've already got. You let it slip. You let it scatter. You let it be stolen by comfort, by noise, by indecision. But when you step into discipline, everything changes. You don't just live by a clock, you command the clock. You start moving on schedule. You stop wasting potential. You stop making excuses. You stop blaming the day and start owning it. Because time without discipline is a boat without a compass. You drift, you spin, you survive, but you never arrive. And you weren't built to just exist. You weren't born to just pass time. You've got too much in you to be casual about your hours. Too much potential to let your schedule be ruled by impulses and outside voices. It's time to take control, to organize your grind, to set your standard and live it daily until the world doesn't have to ask what you're about, because your discipline already told them. Until your life starts reflecting the level you've been aiming for, until